Foxglove friends, welcome to today's reading. I am Rosalind and this is Foxglove Coaching Spiritual Guidance. So today we're asking the question, why did they do this to you? Very direct question, I know, but I have noticed a lot of strange things going on over the past couple of weeks where people have done some odd stuff and it's left me going, why did they do that? I am very much of the thinking of, why would this happen for you rather than to you? But we'll have a look at what's been going on and get into the detail of what's been going on, and we'll see how this is serving you and give you some advice so that you've got more understanding, and you can kind of understand the direction to go in from it, that it's going to provide something better for you, basically, Foxglove friends. So we've got 4 piles today. We've got pile 1, which has got a number 2 on it. Wood Ox, knowledge brings wisdom. Excuse my little sniff there. We've got pile 2, Earth Pig. It's got a number 36 on it. Surrender to the moment. We've got pile 3, which is Earth Dog. Reconnect with ancestral love. And it's got a number 35 on it. And then we have got pile 4, which is Water Dog. Play with the waves. And that's number 59. So just take a few moments and some nice deep breaths to connect with your subconscious and intuitive elements of your being. And when you're ready, all the timestamps are in the description, and I will see you in your reading, Foxglove friend. Hello pile 1, welcome to today's reading. So you have chosen the Wood Ox card. Knowledge brings wisdom. And this card suggests that there's more to this situation than meets the eye. Often suggests that you need to dig a little deeper into what's going on to unearth buried wisdom. And there can be inner treasures within this situation. So it talks about if you experience a lack of progress, even though you're giving it all your best efforts, the blockage can be to do with upgrading your skill set with different experiences, which is kind of bringing more wisdom to you. And it also, from the picture that we can see, it suggests that this element of the third eye here is about seeing the reality with your intuition rather than with your logic. Sometimes it can be to do with seeking a mentor or a teacher, or being a mentor or teacher, and engaging more with people who inspire you, and investing in things that your heart is pulling you towards. So if you want to learn to do something, take that path and do it for you, whether people agree with you or not. If it feels right to you, then it's about investing your time and energy into what feels right to you, and not being swayed by what's going on with other people. So let's get a bit more detail about what's going on here. This could be the learning lesson, or it could be about, a bit more about what's going on. So Spirit, what has actually happened for pile 1, please? What has this person, why has this person done this to them? What have they done? What have they done? So, Knight of Swords. So look at the angry face on that person. And it can be that somebody has acted with speed or irrationally, or jumped in, or kind of tried to push things to go really fast So I feel like maybe the person around you has been like, come on, let's go, let's hurry up, let's get on with this. I want to do this. And you know, the energy difference of a wood ox. A wood ox is slower but stronger, and there's this creativity around the wood ox. Whereas this person is kind of maybe too much in their logical mind. This looks very spiritual and creative and heart driven and intuitively driven. This other person is just using their logic and wanting to go fast and doing the I should and you need to, and perhaps they've been trying to get you to do things that they think you should be doing, you know, or that you need to do. Um, and pushing things too quickly and too aggressively with a logical element to it rather than a heartfelt what is important for you as a soul. It's and you know, I don't know, for each individual it may come from the right place or it may come from a place of their own fears or their own worries and anxieties. If the person's been going through a lot, it's maybe pushed them into like a there's quite a fight and flight element to this card as the horse is racing along with them and they're ready to go charging into everything. Let's get a bit more detail. Why have they done this to you? To what have they done, Spirit, please? What has Pile One's person done? They've maybe just wanted you to do something too quickly and not giving you and trying to push you into something that you don't want to do or to make a change that you're not ready for. Page of Swords, we've got more swords. So again, the Page of Swords can be a little bit obsessive in their thinking. They can be disconnected from emotional elements, from sensitivity. They can kind of be, you know, like when somebody is like a dog with a bone and they're going, I'm focused on this. This is what I want. I'm going to push and push and push and push and research it and get into the depth of it and like really, you know, hold on to it. It can sometimes represent the autistic kind of attributes or an autistic person. So sometimes part of the how do I describe it? The kind of characteristic traits that some autistic people can have is that they can become very focused on a particular thing and they may want to learn about it and they may become obsessive about it and kind of everything else falls away because that is their focus. Now, this can be amazing. It can be so brilliant because they really find out a lot of detail and they can get things sorted out and resolved because they've gone into the detail of something and provide all these answers and solutions, and it can be awesome. It can also be difficult if it's something that you don't want to be engaged with, or if they've got obsessive about it in an anxious kind of way and they're pushing that onto you. So if somebody decides they've got something in mind, like they want something from you, or they want you to do something, or they feel like you should be doing a certain thing, and they're just pushing and pushing and pushing at it, and just are unrelentless. It's a horrible feeling, suffocating. You know, it can be overwhelming. It can make you feel like you're trapped. The energy of the wood ox is so different from these. It's more grounded and stable, and it's like the opposite energy. I think you can probably see from the picture just how opposite it is. Let me get some more information. What has Pile One's person done to them? What has Pile One's person done to them, please? They've pushed their fear onto you, is what's happened, Foxglove friend. I realise that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. And maybe you've felt unloved because you've just felt their fear and their anxiety, and it's maybe pushed on your fears and anxieties, because that often happens, if we're close to someone, or even if we're not mega close to someone, people will try to project their emotional issues onto you. Don't necessarily do it on purpose at a logical, conscious level, but at a subconscious level, if people's ego tends to push their issues onto you, because then if it triggers the issues within you as well, even though it causes upset and difficulty, at a subconscious level it makes you feel not so alone. So it's a very natural thing to do. However, it's not a nice thing to experience. So they're pushing some element of fear onto you that they're going through. And I can see that with this, but that can actually manifest as anger or obsession, or like they've been frustrated at you about something, or they're kind of trying to shove you into something that you don't want to do. Spirit, what has Pile 1's person done to them? And you just want to be like, oh, I'm all chill, and I'm, they may have given you loads of gifts, interestingly. Or they may have given you a different lifestyle, or provided you with something, or I can't help but notice all the diamonds round here. Perhaps they've proposed to you or things like that, and maybe they're a bit focused on so sometimes with the gifts or proposals or getting married, hold on, I'm going to cough, I'm sorry, excuse me, they may have put you on a pedestal, or kind of made you feel like you're really special. I wanted to say a queen or a princess, but that sometimes applies to kind of the female element. But whether you're male or female, they've kind of made you feel special and tried to put you on a pedestal. And maybe that's happened quite quickly, and you're a bit like, whoa, this is all too much. But that might be because they've got fear about losing you, or they may have it seems like this person has got some underlying issues that probably need sorting out, or perhaps it's just a moment in time where something's triggered anxiety or insecurity, and maybe they've bought you more gifts recently, or maybe they're wanting to share what they've got with you much more. Spirit, what has Pile 1's person done to them? What's Pile 1's person done to Pile 2? Done to Pile 1. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I said that. Okay, and so they're also, so there's a balance coming out now where there's all this going on, but they're also doing good things for you. Perhaps they've brought you certain peace. If, with these, I've gone a bit above this camera, sorry about that. Maybe if you've, had lack, or you've not felt appreciated previously, or you've just not had as much in life, they've brought you some comfort with what they've actually given to you. So you've kind of got this bit where they're doing lovely things for you and bringing you positivity. And there's always usually the good and the bad with people. Otherwise, you wouldn't have them in your life at all. If it was all bad, you'd go, well, you're out. Why am I wasting my time with this? Whereas this is showing that there's actually been quite a balance. What has Pile 1's person done to them? Let's see. The moon. Maybe they've actually sometimes this can be where somebody is highlighting your fears, or actually highlighting your shadow side. So perhaps they've... Hello, Pile 1. I am sorry. Somebody unexpectedly phoned me right in the middle of that. So, yes, perhaps they have shown you your fears. They may have shown you elements within you that you're going, oh, I actually need to heal this, which is a positive. So there might be some sort of, well, I'm pretty sure there's a soulmate connection within this, because they're bringing such a lot all at the same time. It feels like it's quite intense, really. They've brought so much good, but also it can be quite stressful, and they're pushing and they're really focused heavily, and also helping you to see what needs to be healed within you, while you kind of just want to enjoy the good stuff, but they're pushing um some of their fears, and maybe part of it is that they want to feel more loved as well. There's maybe an element with them where they aren't feeling loved, or they've had issues in the past where they haven't been loved. So that's bringing fear, especially if they're trying to support you and bring you good things, and maybe you're kind of going, yeah, but I just want to have fun and chill, and they're like, no, 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 we need to sort all these things out. um there's a real mixture going on there. So why have they done this to you, Spirit? Why has Pile One's person done this to them? Spirit, why has Pile One's person? Enthusiasm and friendship. That's interesting. So a single rose can be my garden, a single friend in my world. They really want you to be part of their life. They either want to have that good relationship with you. They want you to be enthusiastic about the relationship with them. They want you to be enthusiastic about them. Um, Maybe they've done it because they feel there's issues with your friendships that they don't appreciate, or that's triggering their insecurities somehow. But really, they want to be important to you, Foxglove friends, and they want you to have enthusiasm and a good relationship with them, which is interesting. Maybe there's some influence with friends that is impacting on the relationship. Sorry, Luna just barked then. It's suddenly turning into a very busy time, and that's making me wonder if actually maybe you've got too much noise around you. Shh, Luna, maybe you've got too much noise around you, in which, you know, it's kind of interfering with your happy. um maybe things need calming down a little bit, and maybe you've got too many people coming at you with too many things to say, or trying to um be in your life. Let's see, let's carry on. Apologies for the little barky noises then. Spirit, why has Pile One's person done this to them? Surrender. I can release my need to control. Perhaps they want. That's interesting. Why have they done this to you? So there's maybe some element about control within this, and perhaps they're wanting you to surrender your control so that they can progress with what they're focusing on. Or perhaps this is part. I'm going to delve into that a bit more in a minute. Let me get a clarifying card. Can I have some clarification around this surrender, please, Spirit? Can I have some clarification around this surrender? Connect with the earth's healing energy. Okay, so perhaps there's an aspect where maybe both of you or one of you needs to get grounded and release control and surrender. And I'd say that given that there's potentially a lot of mirroring going on here, both of you need to do it. So if you start off by making sure that you're grounded and connected to the earth, and allowing the earth to give you its healing energy, so you can put your hands on a tree or feel your own energetic roots going into the ground and soaking up the healing energy of Gaia. Just allow yourself to relax and surrender a little bit more to do this to in this relationship, so that both of you aren't fighting for control. Sometimes if one of you starts to do a different sort of behavior, the other one will copy. So I think maybe they're wanting more enthusiasm from you for them, and they're wanting you to let go of a degree of control. Let's see, why has pile one's person done this to them? Why has pile one's person done this to them? Oh, okay, interesting. We've got the death card. So the death card can be about either somebody or something has passed away, but generally it tends to be about the fact that old habits are dying away, old belief systems, old ways of being, that there's a change in your life, and maybe part of this person being in your life and behaving the way that they're behaving is to push you into actually assessing the way you're currently living your life and recognizing that you need to let go of old ways of behavior, old patterns of behavior. Maybe you need to change your focus, change who you're focusing on, so that you embrace a new life, Foxglove friend. And maybe you're clinging on a little bit to, perhaps you're living in a bit of a bubble of where you don't want to move. You just want to live in a certain bubble and not actually look at what's going on around you, because you're quite enclosed in this bit here. Though it's lovely, it's like you're in this lovely bubble, don't want to look outside it, don't really want to see what's really going on, don't want to assess. I just want to live in all these plants and flowers and beautiful things and all this creativity, la 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 la, lovely lovely. But you maybe need to look at getting grounded into the now and going, okay, what am I doing? What is going on in life? What do I need to shift and change? And that can be difficult, especially when you're in this nice place. It's maybe time for you to start venturing out into life in a new way, whether it's meeting new people or changing the people you're engaging with, or changing what you do on a day-to-day basis, changing the way you work or the way you live, or your thinking patterns, you know what I mean? And perhaps that's what part of the frustration has been, that they don't feel like you're fully on board with them somehow. I'll tell you what, let's see. Let me get one more card around this. Spirit, why has this happened? No, why have they done this to Power 1, please? Why have they done this to Power 1? For a few of you, it may be that they are affected by the death of something. So it might be that they've been through a big change, or somebody's passed away, or they're stepping through a transitional, transformational period of time in their life, which is a bit, so why have they done this? So again, we're back to the swords element. So they're trying to take a leadership focus and logical approach to what's going on. So and that ties in very much with they're in the headspace, and that can bring anxiety sometimes, which is probably why I've got the fear here. They're trying to lead in their headspace, and that might also be why there's some sort of control aspects going on. But in their head, they're going, well, this needs to change. Things need to be different. It needs to not be the same as it used to be. Either your life or your life together or their life needs not to be the way it used to be. Any reflection of what used to be needs to be gone, and they may be a bit heavily focused on that, because they're not getting into their heart space. They're going, this is what's going on in my mind. So what should you do about this? What is the right thing for you, pile 1? Spirit, what is the right thing for pile 1 to do, please? Okay, be grateful for everything you do have. Maybe be grateful for the gifts you've been given. Maybe show them gratitude for them and for what they've given you and the peace they've brought for you and how they've shown things that have, enabled healing. I think maybe be more grateful to what you have got and what you've been given, and it will start to ease them into their heart space more. Let's put that there. I'm going to get some more cards. And also just, spend time, maybe each night before you go to bed, in your head going, I'm really grateful that I've got this and that, and I'm grateful, and live in an energy of gratitude. And it helps people's heart spaces to open up, and it also brings more positivity into your life. Embrace your own uniqueness, accept who you are, recognize that you can't necessarily be anything that somebody else wants you to be. You are who you are, and accept that in a positive, heart-filled way without having to defend yourself in any way to yourself or to anybody else. Just go, well, actually, this is how I am, and part of that, I can't change it. There needs to be an element of acceptance here about who I am and the way that I process things and the way that I go through life. Spirit, what is courage? Yeah, so you need to have a degree of courage and maybe step out of victim mode if that's kind of where you are in some ways. Or maybe it's the courage to step into the new world and the new life and the new way of being, because you want to stay in the bubble. And this is going like, no, you need to build up your energy, feel empowered, feel supported by spirit and your ancestors and the people around you, and allow yourself to face your own fears so that you can actually take actions and steps forward in a way that's right for you to have the life that you actually genuinely want, rather than feeling like you're a victim of circumstances or that somebody's doing something to you. It's important that you kind of go, well, what can I do? What action can I take? What do I want? And how am I going to step forward in life to make that happen? Spirit, can we have some advice for pile 1, please? Can we have some advice for pile 1? I don't want that bit. Have some advice for pile 1. Dahlia, dignity. A wise man has dignity without pride. A fool has pride without dignity. So don't be too egotistically proud. Don't step into arrogance or how dare they treat me like this, or how dare they do this to me, or I am so much better than this, blah, blah, blah. It's about acting in a way that actually represents who you truly are, rather than puffing up your chest and kind of hitting your fists on it like, hear me roar. Do you know what I mean? Calm things down a little bit, and don't act in a melodramatic way. Do act with serenity and grace in a more gently empowered way. And speak reasonably and rationally to other people when you communicate, just so that you can, so that it doesn't get out of hand, really. Let me see, I want another card. What other card do I want? What advice have we got for pile 1, please, Spirit? Happiness. I am aware that being happy means I am on the right path. So the dolphins are very much about play, having a nice time. Notice where you are happy and where you're not happy, because that's showing you where your values are impacted and which direction you should be going in. Do pay attention to what brings you happiness and joy and what doesn't. And you can take that down to, it doesn't have to be a sweeping thing of that person doesn't make me happy and that person does. It can be, well, that activity I enjoy, or that element of that person I enjoy, that element I don't enjoy so much because that doesn't comply and kind of, it doesn't comply with my values. It doesn't match with what I think is right or brings me happiness, or it pushes on my shadow elements and things that I need to heal. And try and focus on what is good rather than focusing on what the problems are. Try to keep focusing on the joyful elements in life, or maybe with this person, and don't keep focusing on criticism or the negative elements, because then you add more energy to those elements rather than adding energy to the good stuff. It feels like more like care maybe, or compassion could be applied to the person you're inquiring about, because then that will take, they're kind of in a headspace out of defense. They're in sort of a defensive headspace, and you might not have put them there, but that's where they're at. And it's like you need to soothe them a little bit, because they are bringing good things to your life. They're just maybe not feeling quite as appreciated as they could do, because you're in having quite a nice time in your little bubble and they're almost not in it, and maybe they're trying to push you out of it into reality with them, because they're feeling a bit isolated and alone, possibly. Foxglove friends, always take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't, but do focus on making sure that you act with integrity and respect, and try and be as compassionate and kind in your approach as you can. Focus on the joy and find the courage to make the changes that you need to make, so that you can enjoy this scenario maybe more than you have been doing in some ways. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best, Foxglove friends. If you do like this, please like and subscribe so I get to see you again, and feel free to write your comments in the comments section below. Bye-bye. Hello, Pal 2. Welcome to today's reading. You have chosen Earth Pig, Surrender to the Moment, number 36. So this card tends to speak about the fact that there is currently no clarity. You might be a bit bewildered about what's going on, or unsure about what's happening, and kind of going, shall I take action? Shall I do something? And the answer is no. It says, don't try to control the outcome of an uncertain situation. Simply observe your moods and emotions and contemplate your options before you make a move. You may be anxious to act quickly, but you feel as if you're stuck in the mud. Relax. There's no hurry. All of the pieces will fall into place in divine timing. So you need to surrender to the moment and try to go with the flow. But let's have a look at the detail of what that's about. So what has pile 2's person been doing to them, please, Spirit? What has pile 2's person been doing to them? First of all, so we've got the 8 of Wands, which can be very much about fast movement. Something has happened very quickly. Spirit, what was pile 2's person done to them? Spirit. Page of Wands. Wow, very much about wands. So, how interesting. Because we almost had exactly the same scenario with pile 1, but with swords. So the wands can be greatly to do with communication. It can be not communication. It can be to do with creativity. So like creation of, or enthusiasm or passion for something, or being excited about a new project, or being excited about a new thing. Perhaps they've been acting quite quickly with you. Let's have a look. I want more detail about this. Spirit, what has pile 2's person done to them? Perhaps they're trying to present you with an idea and want to move quickly on it, and you're kind of going, I don't know if I want to do that actually. But they're super enthusiastic and all like, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, you can move mountains. They're all like, oh, let's either take this trip or create this project or invest in this thing or I don't know what it could be really. Or well, I don't know, have a baby. Do you know what I mean? There's like all sorts of things it could be, and you're kind of going, but I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want to do that. Spirit, I want some more information. What has pile 2's person done to them? This is very interesting. Put you on the spot, maybe, Foxglove friend. Put you on the spot. Soften and gentleness. This is really interesting because it seems quite nice, but it must be, maybe, I'm guessing it's uncomfortable if you're asking the question. What has pile? Perhaps it's to do with health then. I will honour the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Perhaps they're putting pressure on you to have a different lifestyle, or to join a gym, or to take up exercise, or to change your routine, or to actually maybe start practicing for a marathon, or wanting to go and climb mountains, literally, because there's mountains behind this person as well. Perhaps they're let's see, so maybe this is it feels quite good. Spirit, I want a bit more insight into what's going on here, please. Spirit, can I have some insight about what pile 2's person has done to them? What? Perhaps they... I don't know. I want to see if there's anything about them leaving to go off and focus on all these things. Everything's jumping about. You are only given what you can handle. So maybe you're either feeling overwhelmed with what this person is bringing, or maybe they have gone off wanting to focus on new projects, new exciting ventures, and maybe they've left you behind somehow. Or maybe they've changed their approach to life with regards to their health, and it's been a big shift, and you're not sure if you want to. Maybe you're feeling maybe they've done something that, so that I think there might be a few things for a few people here, so take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. For some of you, I think maybe they've moved quickly on a project, maybe they've done something that you wanted to do, and they've run off and done it, and perhaps that's been an issue for you that's made you feel uncomfortable. Let me ask, how is pile 2 feeling about what is going on? Or maybe they're trying to push you. So fear has jumped out. There's an element of fear. So maybe there's some sort of insecurity about what they've done around a project. If they've gone and done it, and it seems like they've been able to move mountains and you can't. Or perhaps they're pushing you to make changes to put a project into place, and you're kind of going, I don't feel like I can. It's all making me feel anxious, and like, because they're flying off and doing whatever they want to and focusing on all these different things, maybe they're making their body better, maybe they're making their life better, maybe they're it seems like they've got a lovely life going on, and that's making you feel like you're stuck and you don't know how to progress and you don't know how to move forward. For some of you that might be the case, and it might be bringing up anxieties about what should you be doing, which path should you be going on, what is your purpose, all that sort of stuff. Or insecurity about what they're trying to push you into because you're not ready. Spirit, how is pal 2 feeling? How is pal 2 feeling? Maybe there's an element where you might be feeling a bit judged or a bit watched, or like people are waiting for you to take action. How is pal 2 feeling, please? Patience, I accept everything happens in divine order. So maybe you know that you do need to have patience with yourself. It's difficult when the 8 of Wands energy is about, if somebody's trying to, make something happen quite quickly, but you're not ready. Maybe they're trying to push you towards your dreams, or maybe they've kind of stolen your dream off you. So I've just seen this happen recently, where for some reason somebody in my circle has taken a few people's dreams and gone, that they've been building up to for years, and they've just gone, oh yeah, I'm going to do that, and they've gone off and done it full cycle to completion. And that was part of why I've kind of gone, why has that person done that? Because it seems unkind, it seems not soft and gentle, it seems to be lacking compassion. It's more of a like, anything you can do, I can do better. It's been that sort of thing. But that pushes really heavily then on your insecurity about whether you can achieve your hopes and dreams, and whether you can bring them to fruition, but also the timing for you as an individual is individual to you. Hold on, I'm going to have a quick drink. So when it's your true life path, each different thing that we do, I'm going to have to put it on pause and have a little cough. Hold on, sorry. There we go. Each thing that we do, there's different lessons along the journey. And sometimes it's not about the destination, my lovelies. It's about going through the process, because it will bring things to the surface. It may bring joy with what you're actually doing. It may bring insights as you go along the path of trying to make your dreams come to fruition. Sometimes your dreams aren't meant to come to fruition in the way that you think they are, because they're serving a different purpose than you expected at a logical human level. This sort of goes, how prepared are you for an influx of social invitations, of being in the limelight? Perhaps they are trying to push you into the limelight, or push you to do something that gets your project off the ground, or gives you recognition, or gets you started. Maybe they've got a belief in you that you're not ready to activate yet. Maybe they're seeing something in you that actually you aren't ready to acknowledge, because you've got your inner fears and insecurities, and you're just wanting to stay in the position that you're in for now while you are sort through that. You know what I mean? Spirit, let me have a look. Why is pile 2's person? So like I said, there's a few elements there of what this can be, but it's basically feeling like someone's trying to push you, either by the fact that they're doing it and they've kind of either doing it themselves and they've nicked what you've got, or they're doing it themselves and you've been pushed into acknowledging that it can be done in the way you thought it could, or they're pushing you to start fulfilling your dreams and believing in yourself, whether it be around a project, improving your health, getting your exercise routine, changing the way your body looks in certain ways. You know, there's a variety of things that this can apply to, and it's possibly feeling overwhelming. Spirit, why is pile two's person doing this, please? Revelation. Maybe they've had a revelation and they've suddenly gone, I couldn't do what I thought I was going to do previously. So maybe they've had a revelation about the fact that they need to make a change in life. Maybe they've had something. Let's have a look how they feel just before I carry on that track. Maybe we'll just put my feeling cards. That's a bit weird. Oh, there they are. I've put them over there. How bizarre. Well, perhaps they don't know how they feel because they can't find the feeling cards. Perhaps they've just had a revelation around either you or themselves. Spirit, how's Pal 2's person feeling? Service, I feel good when I can help others. So perhaps they're trying to either do something that makes them feel good because they're being of service and they're kind of providing something, or they've done this project because they feel like it's going to have a positive impact on humanity, or perhaps they're trying to focus on what you should be doing and help to push you because they think that they are doing good service for you in supporting you and believing in you, and encouraging you along the path that they believe is right for you. Spirit, why is pile two's person doing this to them? Perhaps they're trying to offer you lots of encouragement to improve your life in some way. Spirit, why is pile two's person immersion and intuition. When you reach the end of what you should know, you will be at the beginning of what you should sense. Khalil Gibran, which I love his work. So there's quite a bit that's around on the spiritual side here from this person. There may be working from their intuitive side. It almost feels like they might be religious or spiritual, or perhaps they're trying to guide you. Perhaps it's actually a guide even for some of you, but they're trying to recognize your soul purpose, maybe, Foxglove friends, and maybe they can see the true potential in you. I'm just going to see what other card I want. Why is Pal 2 why is Pal 2's person doing this to them, please? Trying to push you to fulfill your dreams somehow. Queen of Cups, they're trying to be caring and healing, and there may be a therapist or somebody who's got compassion. They might work in a caring profession with children or adults, or as a carer, social worker, therapist, nurse, something like that, Reiki practitioner, or they just might be quite a generally caring and healing sort of person, so they're wanting the best for you, or wanting to push you to your potential because they think they know what's right. What's the advice for Pile 2, please, Spirit? Can we have some advice for Pile 2? Can we have some advice for Pile 2, please, Spirit? Let gratitude guide you. So try to be grateful for what is going on in your life. Try to be grateful maybe for them, and see where that takes you, rather than feeling like, just stop and start to appreciate who is trying to be caring towards you, who is trying to be healing. Appreciate what you have got in life and what is happening for you. Which one do I want? Spirit. What advice have we got for pile 2, please? What advice have we got for pile 2? Oh, look at that. Look at the joy and the energy. So a lot of this is the 3 lower chakra energies, where it's the red, which is about, you know, foundational security. The orange is all about emotion and creativity and that fire of life, you know, that love of life feeling. And the yellow is to do with intuition and wisdom, and all in the good way. It's showing that it is time for you to start sharing your gifts, to start putting what you do out there, to start putting who you are out there, so that you can maybe be of service, but also the aspect of being seen and appreciated for what you can offer in life. Foxglove friend is a big true element of this. And they're maybe seeing that in you. They're kind of seeing what you can actually, what you've got to offer the world, and want you to do that as well. So, Spirit, can we have some advice for pile 2, please? So this might be quite a beautiful reading, actually, that somebody's seen the potential in you. They're trying to push you to follow your dreams. They think that you have got all this potential, and they're wanting to be kind and supportive to you, and maybe supporting you with your health in some way, whereas you're feeling fear and kind of wanting to stay where you're at. But they've had a revelation. They're coming at it from quite a spiritual caring aspect. Merlin, how interesting. So Merlin can be to do with what you are manifesting and the power that you have to manifest different things in life. My cards have gone a bit in a wonky way now. I'm going to have a look in the book to see exactly what Merlin says, because so Merlin says, Merlin, the great master magician, wishes to remind you that the blood of your ancestors flow in your veins. This blood unites you. There was a time when magic was an important element in all our lives. Magic surrounds us, flowing through all things. Magic has always existed and is entirely natural. Bring the magic of your ancestors, your forebears, back into your life. Merlin wishes to teach you that the mightiest tools wielded by a sorcerer or priestess are words. Words can destroy people or build them up, which is what Dumbledore talks about, actually. Recognise this, and from now on use your words as tools of love and light. Merlin wishes to teach you that dragons will bring magic into your life and enhance the magical power you carry within you. So there is really something here, advice-wise, about appreciating the people who are around you, the gifts that you have, about sharing your gifts, about being willing to put yourself out there and to bring that joy and magic and life force back into your life, and to start living again in certain ways. I'm going to get one more card for you, Spirit. Can I have one more card of advice for pile 2, please? This is pretty positive, really. I think almost maybe you are getting in your own way, is what I want to say, Foxglove friends. You are. It's kind of like there needs to be a recognition that you are a beautiful soul, that you're unique, that you've got all this creativity to offer, that what you have to offer is like nobody else, because there's only one soul that is you on this earth. And to enjoy that life and to take centre stage and to own the fact that you matter just as much as everybody else. There's kind of that element going on, Foxglove friend, and that you can do whatever you want to do. Affection and determination, that this the morning glory which blooms for a day differs not at heart from the giant pine that lives for 1,000 years. So it's kind of saying, well, again, it's sort of going, don't compare because that's to despair. Compare is to despair, Foxglove friends. Don't compare yourself to other people. Recognise that in your uniqueness, you are beautiful and wonderful. And it's not about comparing, it's about just allowing yourself to be seen for who you are. It doesn't matter if there's 1,000 other artists out there, or poets, or writers, or people who make wonderful culinary things. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you're wanting to do, it doesn't matter if there's loads of others, because even though you're within a category, maybe, you are still unique. So allow yourself to shine and be seen, because it's just as precious as anything else, Foxglove friend, or anybody else who is out there. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated, please do like and subscribe, because I'd love to see you again, and feel free to share your comments about what's going on for you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, Pal 3. Welcome to today's reading. You have picked Earth Dog, Reconnect to Ancestral Love. Now, what's interesting about this card is that it's showing us that, you know, in spirit, all our ancestors down the generations, many, many, many generations, and all spreading out into, you know, different families, because we have a huge amount of support from our ancestors in spirit. And maybe part of your query is about issues that you've had with family members. We'll see as we go into this reading, but it's showing that the gifts and the different aspects within you, a lot of it comes down the DNA line from your ancestors. And sometimes you know, we need to recognize that we can draw on the energy of spirit and our ancestors, and the gifts and the really good things and the traits that are good and bad can come through us. So, like, you know, there's the notion of the sins of the father. Quite often, who we are carries through down generations through the DNA. And they did a certain test to do with mice where they found that it took 4 generations of mice would still respond to if there'd been like a fear or a happiness or a difficulty in the first generation of mice. So traits follow down through the ancestral lines, but you can also do shamanic healing on that so that your karmic patterns don't keep repeating through your family line as well. So let's have a look what's going on, because this could get quite in depth. But part of this can be to do with exploring the roots of who you are, where you came from, so that you understand who you are, so that you can ground, so that you can, because it does give you, knowing your past sometimes and your history and where you come from can really make you feel grounded and more centered and established sometimes. History creates a foundation. The history of who you are, of where you come from, can create quite a foundation. Right, I'm going to move on. Sorry, folks, I got a bit caught up in that. Right, Spirit, please can you advise for Pile 3, what have they done to Pile 3? What has happened? What has happened that they have done to Pile 3? Six of Pentacles. Interesting. This is all to do with giving and receiving. So perhaps somebody's been benevolent, or perhaps, you know, you've had some sort of an inheritance somehow, or perhaps this person's been taking more than they've been given for some of you. Spirit, what has this person done to Pile 3, please? Have they been asking you for lots of support? Interesting. So they might have made you feel trapped, but that can be to do with finances. So maybe there's been something going on where they're either providing financial support and it's made you feel trapped and like you can't make your own choices. So if it is related to a family element, sometimes people go, well, if you don't do as I say, then you're not going to get any inheritance from me. Or if you don't do as I say, then our financial relationship will change and I won't give you the things that you want anymore. Or perhaps they need money off you because of their situation and you feel trapped and you can't make a choice. So I know some people who are like, you need to give me this money so that we can still live in this house, when maybe the person that's been asked for the money isn't the person who should be responsibly providing for those sort of elements. You know, there's kind of a potential variety around this. Spirit, what is pile three's person doing to them? And perhaps it is happening in a family situation. Spirit, what is pile three's person doing to them? What is pile three's person doing to our Foxglove friend? Prayer, interesting. Why have we got the prayer card? Are they praying for help? Are they praying for you? Oops. Perhaps there's some sort, for some of you, maybe it's a religious or belief system that is making you feel trapped, but perhaps it's their beliefs and their desire to make everything okay around finances that's making you feel a bit trapped. This is difficult to put in the right dynamics. So it's maybe either because they can do this and you are powerless, or because they believe that you have potential and power. Perhaps they're praying for you. So there's a right variety of potential things going on here, Foxglove friends. So do take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. I'll try and give you the different options. So you've obviously heard what I've been saying already about whether somebody's asking for money for you. Perhaps this person is actually trying to support you financially because they see that you're struggling and they're hoping for the best for you because they know that you can get what they think you deserve in life and that you can achieve what you deserve in life. Spirit, what is pile three's person doing to them? Well, okay, let's do how does pile three's person feel, because that will help me understand where they're coming from. How does pile three's person feel? Perhaps they're trying to support you so that you can go to do some sort of form of study even. What does pile? Humour. So, interesting. That's interesting. So pile three's person, your person, they feel humour. So they're finding things much lighter. Perhaps they're not seeing either what they're doing to you. This is a bit strange, Spirit. What is pile three's person doing to pile three? So they're not taking something maybe as seriously as you are. Destiny. It's not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. William Shakespeare. Wow, so perhaps they have some sort of control over your destiny and maybe it makes them feel empowered and they're not taking it as seriously as you are. So you're maybe feeling trapped and praying that something shifts and changes. And they're doing something because they can and they're not thinking twice about it. I'm going to do a bit more on spirit. How does pile 3's person feel? So there's something around giving and receiving. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So maybe they think they're being quite honest, or maybe they're being somewhat dishonest. Perhaps there's, just take what resonates. Let me just see. Spirit. How does pile 3's person feel, please? Change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without moving. Maybe they're not wanting to be honest about the changes that need to happen, which is why they're trying to keep you in place. Spirit, where is pile 3's person coming from? Because this is all a bit... I'm not quite sure if I'm on the right lines with this perfectly yet. Ace of Pentacles. So pile 3, your person is very focused on money. Whether that's actually giving money to you in a positive way to help you progress and to give you a better life, or whether it's because they're wanting to take money from you so that they can have a better life, and perhaps they've been quite direct with you about it, or they're wanting to make changes, or I don't know. For each of you, it might be both sides of the coin, where they think they're being honest, but they're maybe not being that honest with themselves, and they think they're doing things to do positive changes, but actually they don't want change. You know, just take what resonates around this, but it feels like there's a bit of a strange dynamic going on within this, and which is often sometimes the case with if it is relating to families, but they're making you feel trapped, and they're making you feel like you've got to ask for divine intervention, and maybe that it's kind of pushing you to pray for a way out of this, or a way for a solution for how, but they're taking it pretty lightly, and maybe deciding your destiny when without inquiring with you, because they don't seem to realise that you should be entitled to have more choices. Let's see about why are they doing this, Foxglove friends and spirit. Why are they doing this to pile 3? Why are they doing this to pile 3? Avalon. Heck, I'm going to have to look in the book for that one. I mean, it's beautiful. But let me just see what this is actually telling us, because why? Perhaps they've got an ideal of what they want for you. You know, it says a powerful magical energy wants to rise within you. The moon dragon is awakening the priestess or the sorcerer within you and will travel with you to Avalon, the Isle of Apple Trees. Follow this very beautiful silver dragon to the world of your ancestors. That's interesting because it's to do with your ancestors again, allowing it to lead the way. Take a look at the long line of your ancestors. How weird. So you've got this twice then. At the priesthoods that have gone before you, at the sorcerers and shamans or shamans, recognize the beings that stand at your shoulder, the beings that you have been in the past. Take the magic and the knowledge deep into your heart and speak as you once did, full of wisdom and gentleness to those who need it. So there's really something where you need to look at the strengths that run through the ancestral lines of who you are and the trends, and maybe it's to do with following in on the footsteps of, you know, parents or grandparents or aunties and uncles, to empower you to make the choices that you want to make and to enable you to step out into the world with strength and empowerment and groundedness in who you are, and making the right choices based on not only the positive elements within your ancestral line, but also recognizing mistakes that might have been made in the past. Spirit. So this is possibly, so why they are doing this for you is to push you to embrace, maybe there's been something going on where they've gone, well, this is what our family does. This is the line you need to follow. Like if a family business is passing down to you, or it's sort of to do with the beliefs that have been come through the different generations. Spirit, let's have a look. So why is pile 3's person doing this? And we're going to get you some advice about what you should do in a minute, because I think that will help a lot with this. Choose your battles. So, interestingly, there's some really interesting stuff going on in this reading. And I suppose, like I said, I think they're trying to choose the right things to say or do with you to push you in the right direction. But that has to be the right direction for you. Spirit, why is pile 3's person doing this to them? So there may be fallouts and confrontations happening. A path to independence. They maybe think that they're enabling you for a better life, that they're helping you to make choices that will bring you joy and happiness, so that you can actually have the best in life. Let's get you some advice, because that will help. Spirit, what is the advice for our Foxglove friend here in pile 3? What is the advice, please, for our Foxglove friend here in pile 3? Love non-attached. So maybe the thing is to start, rather than considering what they're doing to you or what they're trying to push you into or how they're trying to support you or not support you or whatever, take a higher perspective and just love them at a soul level and observe their behaviours, and recognising that they think they're doing the right thing, really, based on experiences that they've had from their past, from their upbringing, from their, family conditioning, if you like. Spirit, can we have some advice for pile 3, please? Ooh, it's all flying out. Sometimes our best choice is observation, which is what I just said. To about the love non-attached. It's about just observe what they're doing without reacting to everything, without feeling like they've got so much control over you, because at the end of the day, you do have the choice to do whatever you want. Even though it may have certain consequences, at the end of the day, the choice is yours to do what you want. Share your voice loudly. Don't be afraid to say what you actually want in this scenario, because sometimes people can run away. If we've got certain dynamics where, for example, if it is like a parent-child dynamic, and that can be in any relationship, not just literal parent-child ones, but we can go into a dynamic where it's like we're the parent or somebody else is like our parent. Sometimes they forget to consider that you actually have a voice and you actually have opinions and you actually have things that you want out of life. They're just going, well, this is what we've always done. This is surely what you're going to do because this is what's right, maybe in their beliefs. Don't be afraid to speak up, to say what you want in life. Spirit, can we have some advice for pal 3, please? Can we have some advice for pal 3, please? Purity, cheerfulness and innocence. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you're attentive, you will see it. And I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's by the very wise Buddhist person, Thich Nhat Hanh. I might have said that wrong, but yeah, stay in the moment, ground yourself in the moment, find your happiness with this person in the moment, rather than worrying about the past or the future. Just be in the present moment, because otherwise you might become overwhelmed with what they're doing or what they're pushing towards you, when actually everything in each individual, things can build up over time. So just purity, cheerfulness and innocence. Try not to keep holding everything against them, is what I want to say, Foxglove friend. Because it's not where, if there's something going on in the moment and they're choosing a battle with you, then deal with that at that point. Otherwise, let things go and realise that they're just doing the best that they can with what they've got at that time, and try to enjoy each present moment. Let me get you some more advice, Spirit. Can I have some more advice for pal 3, please? Indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So if you're really not sure what to do or what you do want to do, maybe get out of your headspace and kind of breathe into, take some nice deep breaths, focus on your heart space or focus on your solar chakra space and breathe in nice and deeply. That helps you to tune into your intuition and your subconscious self and feel for what brings you joy. What do you actually want? This colour combination is kind of head in heaven, feet on earth. Sometimes the obvious solutions to other people are not actually what you might truly want. So it's important to, rather than, and sometimes what's in your head is a logical solution, like I should do this or I ought to take this path because that's a sensible option. That's not always the right way, as is the case that sometimes doing something that seems outrageous and absolutely joyful, that isn't always the sensible option too. Allow yourself to sleep on things. I'll often go to bed, ask the angels and spirit to give me the answer for the question in which I'm asking. So sort of tell them what the issue is in your mind before you go to sleep, and say, tomorrow, can you, when I wake up, can I have a decision about what I should do with this? And then just let it come to you over the course of the next day. But if you aren't sure what to do, then don't act on it. Just wait until you do know what to do and stop worrying about it and stop thinking about it for a while. Sometimes when we keep going over things in our mind, it creates more indecision than if we just stop thinking about it briefly, and then it can kind of naturally come to its conclusion. Oh, my cards are a bit wonky, but never mind. Let me get you another card. One more. Spirit, please, can we have... Is it this one? No, it's this one. Can we have some advice for pal 3, please? Spirit, can we have some advice for pal 3? Ooh. Co-create with the universe. Yeah, okay. So if there's something that you really, really want, if you realise what you really, really want, start acting as if it's real. Start dressing like you would if you were that in that role. Start feeling like you would if you were, you know, um, in that new way of being. And that's one way to tell if it's right for you or not. See how you feel if you imagined yourself already in that situation, and also start living in the energy of love. So sometimes just spend a few, even a minute, feeling loved and feeling love expand from you, and start to work with the energies of life, and then take action based on what you do want. Do research, go and see people, talk to people, find out what you want, and start to take action to bring into fruition what you do want, and create the life that you'd like to have. Sorry, Luna had a little bark and she was asleep, and that woke her up. So, Foxglove friends, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please do like and subscribe, because I'd love to see you again. And also feel free to leave comments, because it's so nice to know what's going on. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Pal 4. So you have chosen Water Dog. Play with the waves. And this is all about fast changes, things that are pushing you out of your comfort zone, letting yourself step aside from fear. If you're feeling discomfort, accept that you're uncomfortable and pat yourself on the back, because that means you've taken a step towards where you want to go to, and trying to, put new skills or intuition out there, or putting a new project out there, or making a change. It encourages you to take a risk and embrace your fears. Play a game of what ifs. Nothing in life is certain. So enjoy the fact that life is changing, and that is part of the joy of life. That, just as the seasons change and we get to enjoy each element of the seasons, whether it's the new blossoming life force of spring, or the beautiful colours of autumn as the trees die away, just as so in life, things change and shift. But let's have a look at what's going on. So maybe there's been changes and shifts with the person that you're inquiring about, or maybe the person that you're inquiring about has brought changes and shifts into your life. So what has pile 4's person done to them, please? What has happened with poor pile 4's person? What has this person done to them? Spirit. Ooh, so there's some sort of justice element. Maybe they've brought something legal to your door, or maybe they've allowed some sort of justice, or maybe there's some sort of injustice. Let's have a look at what's going on. But it can be to do with the police, it can be to do with solicitors, or it can just be to do with fairness. It can be to do with contracts or legal elements. Let's just have a look. Spirit, what has pile 4's person done to them, please? Maybe you've just been having a nice time and they've caused you to look at things from a different perspective, and put things on hold somehow. So they've pushed you to have patience and maybe deal with something. Spirit, what is pile 4's person doing to them? What have they done to them? 2 of Cups. So this is to do with a relationship, possibly a marriage, or so maybe for some of you it might be to do with a divorce or somebody from the past, or it might be to do with actually somebody new coming in that's brought an element of justice to your life and help you to see things from a different perspective. Just take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. I'm wondering if I'm going to get extra people watching this, because with each pile there's been a few variations of potential. And I've already done 4 piles to try and split it all out. Spirit, what has pile 2's person done to them? Sorry, that's because I was reading 2. What has pile 4's person done to them, please? What has pile 4's person done to them? Nutrition, that's interesting. Maybe it's made you question how you are being nourished in this life, or how you are providing, how you're looking after your body. Spirit, maybe is something to do with actually getting married, or because, you know, the justice element can be to do with a legal contract. Spirit, what is going on for pile 4's? What has pile 4's person done to them? One with the universe. So they've maybe pushed you or made you feel more centered and balanced, and encouraging you to take better care of yourself somehow. Spirit, let's just have a look. What has pile 4's person done to them, please? So determination and creative achievement. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. What I'm going to say is there's possibly 2 scenarios here. So maybe for some of you, somebody has pushed changes on you that have maybe been legal, and you've had to be patient and wait for what's going on and for the solution and outcome of this. It's maybe affected what's going on in your body in some way, and you've had to take care of your health more, or had to consider what you're putting into your body, if you've got allergies or anything like that. But it's maybe just made you look at how you're being nourished in life, and but it's also shown you that you can be at one with the universe, and how to balance your energy and how to manage your energy. For some of you, it might be that you've taken up yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong, and that sort of thing, and considered what is going on with your energy, and where is it being sapped, where is it being fed. You know, there's kind of, with the 2 elements here, there's a lot about what is going on in your energy. What are you putting into your body, either in the form of the people that you're engaging with, or actually what you're consuming. And for some reason, this person has pushed you into that, which may be positive. Well, it is positive when you consider what's going on, but it may be through positive elements, or it may be through negative elements. And it's also giving you determination, or maybe they've been determined to do something to you, or determined to get you sorted out, or determined to push a legal element at you that you do or don't want. Let me see how pile 4's person feels, and then I can see what angle they're coming from, whether it's lovely and great, or whether it's not been so great. Spirit, how does pile 4's person feel? Well, they feel pretty happy, which is good. Let me see if I can fit that on there. Spirit, how does... Oops, daisy. Oh, everything's just gone flying. Perhaps there's a... Oops, I'm trying to pick it up off the floor. Perhaps there's a mixture of emotions going on. Spirit, how does pile 4's person feel, please? Health. We've got health again. That's interesting. So for some reason, that's a focus. I will honour the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Spirit, what is going on? Pile. How does pile 4's person feel? Acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change. So maybe they're going through a shift and a change. Spirit, where is Pile 4's person coming from this in this situation? Co-create with the universe. So they're trying to create something that they want. Spirit, where is Pile 4's person coming from with this? Spirit, where is Pile 4's person coming from with this? King of Cups, so emotional maturity. So, for some of you, this is where somebody's come in, wants to create something really great with you and is quite emotionally mature and wants to focus on health elements, wants to, they're quite happy, they're wanting to maybe develop spiritually, or maybe they're into fitness or well-being, and perhaps you have gone into a legal agreement with them, or an actual marriage or engagement or something like that, and they're excited about the changes that are going on, and they're kind of encouraging you to be part of this and taking you along this journey where all the good things are a focus, where the happiness, they're wanting positive emotions, they're determined to make different things happen that are maybe there's some sort of legal contract element to it. So it might even be buying a house or buying a business, or like I say, getting married, whatever there's sort of, or going into business partnership with someone, and they're quite bringing a focus of health and well-being to this somehow. Very interesting, and perhaps they're trying to lead in a positive and balanced way, when actually it could be quite a bit of an emotional time. So in both these cases here, we've got the water element, which can be to do with emotions, and they're trying to rise above difficult emotions, or actually enjoy the turbulence of change somehow, trying to embrace it in a positive way. But this is what they're bringing to you. They're kind of doing this to you as well, and bringing you along for this journey. So, sorry, why, Spirit? Why is Powerful's person doing this to them? Because they've got a determination and ambition, is what I want to say, and they're quite in the headspace. So we've got like this determined energy twice, that they're trying to achieve something that involves you, Foxglove friend. Why is Pal 4's person doing this? The Star. Wow, that's a pretty auspicious card. So this is very much about the fact that they may be seeing you as something pretty special, but this is also to do with confidence, openness, wishing on a star. You are possibly a bit of a wish come true to them, or this situation that they're pulling you into is maybe like a wish come true. Perhaps they're quite a creative and an emotional person, but quite mature with it. I'm actually going to have a look at what this says in here, just to get the full, because even though they're all the same, can be quite different in different packs. What makes you hopeful that the world can change for the better? How can you help everyone by helping yourself? So there's an element of hope and ambition. This is why they're doing this. They've got hope and ambition for radical potential, and pursuing dreams that push humanity forward. Wow, they've got like big ideas, Spirit, why is pile 4's person doing this to them? Temple of the Sun. So everything, all the reasons, the behaviours that they're showing or the actions that they're taking, is all to do with this bigger picture of these ideals of what could be wonderful in life, of what could be abundant and benevolent, and all those sorts of things. And so that is a beautiful, very, gold is often about financial wealth as well, but also joy. And that dragon looks quite happy, and it's gold light shining in the light. There's a lot of positive, nice things here. Let's get you some advice. Spirit, what advice have we got for pile 4, please? What advice have we got for pile 4? Come on, Luna. My little dog is being indecisive. Spirit, what advice have we got for pile 4? Treat your body as a divine vessel. There's a lot about your body in this. Nourishment, health, well-being, emotional happiness. Treat your body as a divine vessel. For some reason, that's important as part of this, that you're taking care of your physical well-being. Painful experiences help you fly higher. So if you are having issues in life, whether it's problems with this person or painful experiences from the past, recognize how they help you to be more, to have more, to have strength and empowerment, and how they progress you in life. Not everything in life is meant to just be happy and simple, because how would we develop? So it's about taking the good and the bad in things. Spirit, what advice have we got for pile 4, please? What advice have we got for pile 4? Embrace the great transformation. That's some serious advice, pile 4. So, we've got this, which is all about change. And this is saying, embrace it, embrace the change, see the positive. We've got the lilies here, which are very representative of something beautiful growing out of a difficult situation. We've got the snake, which can be to do with transformation as it sheds an old skin. We've got this, I think this might be Kuan Yin, which can be to do with that supportive energy of abundance and healing, but also spirit being supportive there with you as well. Let's get one. Oh, hold on. Let's put that there. And I'll get you one more, Spirit. What advice have we got for pile 4, please? Honeysuckle, domestic happiness and devoted affection. I will wind thee in my arms, so doth the woodbine the honeysuckle gently entwist. That's from William Shakespeare. So the honeysuckle is representative of how you bind and grow around another person, with another person, how this brings about connection and learning to not only be an individual, but how you connect with somebody else as well. So there's a lot of that that's here. Well, actually, that's turned into a jolly nice reading then, actually. So I think that's probably quite good for you, Foxglove friends. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this, please do click on like and subscribe, and feel free to leave comments about what is actually going on. And I will see you in future readings. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.